Hi, this is Rob Warlow from Business Loan Services and welcome to my Business Finance Bulletin, my weekly roundup of news, tips, ideas and strategies on raising finance and dealing with banks. But if you're watching the video version as opposed to on the podcast, you'll see him on location this week. I've been attending a business networking event today and I thought, well, what better place to do the bulletin than in the Lexus showrooms in Cardiff. Great location and great cars. So what have I got for you this week? Well, we're looking at the new Small Business Act which came into force in March. I'm also going to be looking at what the British Business Bank are doing in order to improve access to finance for businesses. Going to be looking at your personal credit file, why it's important that you know what's registered against you. And this week I've got an interview with Tracey Smolinski from Introbiz, which is the networking group which has been running the event today, and an opportunity to have a chat with Tracey about an event that they're holding here in Cardiff at the end of 2015. So let's start off with the Small Business Enterprise and Employment Act. Bit of a mouthful, but a very important piece of legislation for businesses. Why? Well, it's one of the first acts that is really focusing purely on small businesses to solve a number of structural problems that many small businesses face. So what's in it for you? Well, first of all, a number of things that I've been talking about in previous videos have now finally been enforced in law. First of all, access to finance. I've mentioned in previous bulletins that the government really wants to see that when a business owner walks out of a bank with a no ringing in their ears, that the bank actually points them in the right direction to an alternative funder. So it's now finally been legislated. If a bank says no to somebody, they have to provide an alternative signpost to go where they can find the finance they need. I mentioned in last week's video that the British Business Bank has now gone out to tender to ask for expressions of interest from online platforms who want to be the conduit between the banks and the alternative funders. So finally some real action taking place there. Late payment, it's another thing I constantly mention. Again, now finally being enshrined in the Small Business Act. The bigger businesses are now going to be forced to be more transparent, much more open about their payment practices in order to help cash flow speed up for small businesses. So great, another tick in the box, another item done. Credit data. Another thing that's been solved in this report, alternative funders find it really difficult to get a full picture of a business owner's other borrowings. So in this act, banks are now being forced to share more data with alternative funders so they have a complete picture of what the business is borrowing. So that's really good news for the funders. Check imaging. What is this? Well, I don't know about you, but when somebody pays me by check, it's a bit of a pain to be honest, because you pay your check in on the Monday, you don't get access to the funds until the Friday. Well, what this new act has now done is to allow check imaging. So if you get a check, you can get your mobile phone out, take a picture of the check, email that to your bank, and your bank will pay in the virtual check. It'll speed up the whole payment process. So it just shows banking's finally coming into the 21st century. So there are a number of things there to help businesses, not only on the finance side, but there's a raft of employment legislation there, again, which all benefits small businesses. So really good news there. British Business Bank, umbrella organisation that the government's put together to house all of its kind of programmes. And one thing that the British Business Bank has realised is that many challenger banks want to try and support businesses with funds, but just can't. Because one problem is that challenger banks have to allocate a large amount of capital every time they put a small business loan out, and that just ties up capital. So what the British Business Bank has done now is come out with the Enable programme, where they provide a guarantee to the smaller banks which allow them to lend more to small businesses. So they've gone and issued the initial tranche of £125 million to the Clydesdale and Yorkshire Bank, and that should be the first of many that will come out. So we should see those challenger banks being much more active in the small business market. Now, what about your personal credit report? We've had a number of instances here at Business Loan Services over the last couple of weeks where we've been arranging facilities for limited companies, and when we've asked the business owners about their personal credit background, they think, well, why are you asking this? Because it's the limited company borrowing, not me. Well, unfortunately, yes, you're technically right, but at the end of the day, if you're a small, medium-sized business, the bank is lending to you, the individual. Yes, it's through a limited company, but they also want to know about your personal credit file. Now, in a couple of instances, we've had where the business owners have admitted that, yes, their credit is less than perfect. Now, if you don't know if it's less than perfect, you've got to make sure that you're fully aware of where your starting point is. So we suggest that you go along to the likes of Experian, Call Credit, Equifax, and get a statutory credit report. You can get that for just £2 only. So just go along to any of those sites, get your report and have a look exactly what is registered against you, so you go into a negotiation with your eyes open. A really important thing if you're looking to borrow through your limited company. So this week, my business finance tip is just replaced by a general interview. As I mentioned, I've been at a business networking event today, and I managed to get a couple of minutes with one of the co-owners of the company Introbiz to have a chat about an event that they're holding here in Cardiff on the 5th and 6th of November 2015. It's a business expo. So I had a chat with Tracey to ask her, tell us a little bit about the event and the speakers that they've got coming to that place. So let's go to that interview now.
Hi, we've got really exciting news obviously for the Expo this year. It's in Cardiff City's House of Sport. We've got 50,000 square foot, we've doubled in size, which is fantastic, and we've got loads of entrepreneur speakers this year, but we've just secured another 4. We've got John Lee, who's a property millionaire. He's going to be speaking. We've got Shah Wuzmand. She's a fantastic networker, and she's got some fantastic businesses and great connections. We've also got Mike Ogilvie, who's an international speaker and author. We've also got then Mark Powell, who is a tailor to the stars in London, based up in London. So really exciting. We've sold 50% of the show already, so it's going to be bigger and better for this year over 2 days.
Okay, so what dates of the show?
5th and 6th of November.
Right, okay, good. So we're going to have business owners from across the UK hopefully come in?
Oh yes, and we got, as I say, some of the entrepreneurs from London. We've already got 500 people registered for the show already, and the marketing that we're doing is absolutely fantastic this year, bigger and better than last year.
Yeah, good. So Tracey, I'm a very proud member of your networking group Introbiz. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, we host weekly networking events across 4- and 5-star stunning locations. Today we're at the Lexus Garage. We do the sport and business events with the Welsh FA, the Cardiff Devils ice hockey team, soon to be Cardiff City Stadium, the football club, and also the Newport Gwent Dragons. We launched their business club last week, so we do a lot. We're every week. So we're busy people.
Great, thanks very much, Tracey.
No problem. Thanks a lot, Rob. Take care.
So a great range of speakers, hundreds of stands as well, so make sure you keep your diary free. 5th, 6th of November in Cardiff. If you want to know more, just go along to the Introbiz site, which is introbiz.co.uk. So thanks to Tracey for the time there, and good luck with the exhibition, Tracey. So that's it for this week. Thanks very much for joining me, and as ever, if you did find it useful, please do share this video amongst your friends and colleagues. And so that's it for this week. Look forward to being with you again next Friday. Have a great, successful and profitable week. Bye-bye now.